Take a few moments to get present in it. Take about 3 nice deep breaths, please. So we're going to begin to activate the new life trajectory template. This is a time where many of you are starting to experience a significant shift because you are on a completely new path, a new trajectory, like being in a new world. And as you notice, you've been having a lot of occurrences lately, some subtle but yet significant, but noticing a lot of shifting, old patterns or beliefs, people, situations just sort of falling away, and something new just coming into place. And a lot of you may not be able to make sense of this, even though you're noticing that it's happening and there's new things that are emerging and taking place. But because it's so new in a way that you've never experienced before, it's hard to comprehend logically, but yet inwardly you know everything is well, and this is even better than you could have ever imagined. So what's happening is that this new life trajectory is a template, and the template is from within. It's part of your new anatomy, because your anatomy has shifted in order to be able to participate in this new life expansion. This is the evolution of your journey that has metamorphosized into a completely different world that has emerged from within. No longer living a caterpillar type of life, you're more beyond the cocoon and into the metamorphosized life, which is the evolutionized life. And now it's your time to be able to optimize this experience. So let's take about 5 more deep breaths, please. So I'm allowing myself to be in the receptive mode so that I could accurately articulate what it is that needs to be activated at this point in terms of your new life template. Activations will continuously be going on throughout the journey, but this is just an initial jump start and really just making you aware that you are on a new path, that a new template has emerged from within, and now in your external reality, it's time to start divinely assimilating this new world. So what's coming up in this moment is about significant shifts in patterns. And what this entails is that you have some patterns that will carry over from what would seem to be the current or the old aspect of you. But some of these patterns actually are going to be serving you during this time of transition. Even some of the ones that may seem like, oh, I don't think that this one's for my highest and best good. Now, ultimately, overall, probably not, and probably is one of those patterns that need to fall away completely. But if there's a remnant of it coming up still during this time, that means that there's a good aspect of that can be leveraged, and that's what you need to focus on. So as you're being present with your patterns, that's what's coming up for this activation, and we're going to ground that and activate that. is being present with your patterns. So let's be intentional in the space right now for that. So before we start activating, let's get present. Get present with the relevant patterns of the present. The ones maybe that don't serve you as well, as I mentioned, but they still have some element of evolution that can serve you. So allow that to come to your awareness, whatever that is, or whatever those patterns are. Just allow it to organically come up. Nothing you need to think about if they didn't just arise to the top of your awareness. Then maybe there aren't any at this point. Because what you'll find is that these awarenesses, they happen pretty quickly in a very accelerated format. So you're not in left brain, you're not in the thinking mode, you're in the flowing, in the receiving mode. Take a deep breath, please. So now I want you to be present with the patterns that are gifts, the patterns that will serve you, or the new patterns that you need to establish or hone in or master these patterns for this phase. Let's be present with that, please. So during the time of this trajectory shifting, if you will, time of divine assimilation, you are going to be gathering the fragments, but these fragments are the newer energies, the pieces of the puzzle that need to be assimilated for this phase. Almost like the part of the tapestry that you're working on at this time, and you want to isolate, sort of like freeze frame, what's being assimilated so that you can get a good glimpse of that before you actually move on to start the next phase of the assimilation. And so what's coming up in this assimilation energy is new life now, new life now. So being very focused on the now moment and not where the new life trajectory in this more expansive context is going to be leading from a futuristic aspect, that is isolating the assimilation for this now time, for this phase. And that's the template that needs to be activated at this time. Let's take a few moments to review those patterns that came up. Get a good glimpse of the new now assimilation, gathering those fragments and just seeing how they lock into place just for the moment. You may come back in another now moment and more wisdom may be revealed, more clarity. So let's just test what's assimilated for the now. And just imagine yourself watching it as if it's on a movie screen. Then I want you to look at it as if it's a puzzle, a section of a puzzle that you're working on, but you're looking at what you've assimilated so far and just being with that, happy with that, not looking to add the next piece or pieces, not looking to go find the box to see what the overall picture looks like, but just focusing in, freeze framing that particular aspect or area. But I also want you to see it as a tapestry. You've woven together a certain amount, and you're looking at that part, just feeling the gratitude, very pleased with that, knowing that of course it's not complete and there will be more to do, but just happy with what has been created so far. Take a nice deep belly breath, please. So this is your new now life template for the present. So I call forth the activation of the isolation of this core area, this significant part of the timeline trajectory, activating the new life energy from the anatomy, the new anatomy of life, but also the anatomy from within. And bringing together these two core elements and grit locking them for this trajectory shift at this moment. Activating the higher frequencies that support this new life, new now life trajectory. Activating divine support, infusing with new source energy. Activating all relevant templates as it relates to this specific phase of life. And activating the higher power of now, the power of this present moment. Take 3 nice deep breaths, please. And the third breath, you should feel your anatomy shifting. Feel as if the air around you has changed, the atmosphere has shifted some. Now I want you to feel into that newness. And for some of you, if you're not feeling anything, just be aware of it. Just be aware that it is present. And you can just feel into the awareness that something new has taken place. Something has been activated far beyond your understanding, far beyond your comprehension, and that's okay. Just be with that. Continue to breathe. Continue to breathe. This new now life force energy coming through. New now life frequency for this trajectory. for this template. Anchor and ground that, let that settle. And feel yourself becoming more alive and in this new encounter with this new now life trajectory, and appreciating your co-creative part in activating this template through the power of intention, higher awareness, and connecting the breath of life, the new life force energy, grounding it all in this powerful now. So receive it, believe it, and know that it is activated, and you are ready to go forth in your new now life trajectory and live out this template for this phase. Take a nice deep breath, please. Thank you.